Mine is then क्या करे
और आयुष कैसा है तू?
अरे बाप रे। देखिए शिवा
Come on, Papa. पिछला वंशी रेड्डी
Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, doctor, you are audible now.
Okay. Can you please open
Yes,
your
doctor.
videos? Everyone,
Yes, doctor.
please
You are
open video. Okay, may I request everyone to open the video, please? Can I request everyone to open the video? Hello? I said open all the video. Guys, can you please open the video? Hello? Can you please open the video? Hello? Open the video. Hello, can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me now?
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor. Now we can hear you.
Okay, the problem now is I'm only using my mobile phone, and the laptop that I'm supposed to use have audio difficulties. So, Ritral, you're the one who's going to do the screen sharing.
Okay,
Okay,
doctor.
can you please send it through my Viber or through chat your email address so I can forward you the slides?
Okay, doctor.
I'm actually I'm actually here now in the school and hoping to use our internet connection here. Can I have your email address, please?
I've sent it to your Viber, doctor.
Okay, hold on. Can I have the email address here in the chat box? I can find it in the Viber.
మూడు సార్లు ఒక్కసారి కడుపు నిండుతుంది తిననప్పుడు తిన్నప్పుడు రెండు సార్లు I know you're doing this.
Yo Prasad.
Send me your email address, LO, so you can do the screen sharing.
I've sent it to your chat box, doctor.
Okay, hold on. Hirap naman dito. Okay. Doc, I'm having difficulty now. Who's the LO again? I lost your email address.
Doctor, I have sent it to your chat box.
Yeah, that's the problem. I also had to reconnect. I lost connection. That's why I cannot
Where,
find again your email address.
where should I send it now?
Yeah, send it again. Send it again.
Okay. Okay, doctor.
Sorry about this technical difficulty. Okay. Let's give a bit of time for your LO to download the PowerPoint, and he's going to want to do the screen sharing. I could not do the screen sharing from my end. I'm just using my phone. The laptop is not working with the audio. I don't understand. Yeah, I already sent it to your email. Can you please check?
Okay, doctor, I'll check it.
Okay. I'm going to send you also a link to the video. It's a YouTube video that you're also going to play, and that would also help us understand the topic for today. It's the accuracy and precision. So there's a good explanation and illustration on how accuracy and precision differ from each other. Okay. Did you receive the email I sent?
Didn't get the email, doctor, yet.
Amrit Pai?
No, doctor, I didn't receive it yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, doctor.
How about the video? The link.
No, doctor.
I tried to use my new headset, hoping it would actually have a good connection and audio, but it seems not working also. But I don't understand what's wrong with Zoom. When I tried this a while ago using Facebook or video call, it's working. But now with the Zoom, I don't understand why is it not working. Okay, can I request everyone to open the video, please? Okay. So pardon all these technical difficulties at the moment. I try to keep up with this because I'm here at the school using the internet we have right now. Can you still hear me loud and clear?
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Just wait for the video to download. I mean the link of the YouTube and also the PowerPoint slides that LO.
Yes, doctor, I just now received the email.
Now you receive it.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, can you do screen sharing of the PowerPoint, please?
It's actually a video, doctor, YouTube video.
I
Not
sent
the
two
pop.
emails. I sent two emails. One is the link to the video and the other one is the PowerPoint itself. You're supposed to receive two emails. Two emails. Okay, you'll
Doctor, I received only one email. Maybe it will take some time for the other email to come.
you receive the link for the video.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you again the PowerPoint, but this time you can play the video.
Okay, doctor.
Okay.
सबने ऑन ही रखा हुआ है।
Okay, you can play now the video.
Welcome again to our virtual classroom. For today's video, we'll be discussing the difference between accuracy and precision.
Is it audible?
Yes.
Yes, it's audible. Yes.
In observations or in measuring distances and lengths in the context of surveying. So, by definition, accuracy is the absolute nearness of observed quantities to their true values. So, how near our observed values or measured distances are to the true lengths or true values. Okay, so precision is the degree of refinement or consistency of a group of observations and is evaluated on the basis of discrepancy size. So discrepancy is like the difference between two quantities. So if there is a very small discrepancy, that means that there are lesser or smaller errors. No? So otherwise, if the discrepancy is big, therefore we also expect bigger errors in our measurements. Okay, so by illustration, this diagram show the difference between accuracy and precision. So for diagram A, for this figure, so this means that the observed values are actually precise, but they're not accurate. So assuming that this one, the target, it is a target range, so the center is the bullseye. So if you can observe here, the values here are actually close to each other. Therefore, the values of the observed measurements are precise, but actually they're far from the true value. So therefore, they are precise, or this group are precise measurements, but actually not accurate. Okay. For the second figure, these points or these measurements are neither precise nor accurate because they have bigger discrepancies from each other. So they're not grouped into like this one, and also they're far from the true value. No? And then you have for the figure C, this is an example of measurements or observations that are both precise and accurate. So precise because they have small discrepancies from each other, and they're also hitting the target. So therefore, they're almost close to the true value of the measurement. So these observations are both precise and accurate. Okay, so that's it. No, that's the difference between accuracy and precision. I hope you've learned something for today, and thank you again for watching this video. And see you again on our next video.
Video now. You can do.
So
Have you received the
thank you.
PowerPoint? Have you received the PowerPoint slides I sent?
Yes, doctor, I received the PowerPoint.
Okay, now can you share now the PowerPoint for accuracy and of observation and measurements?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. So what you have seen in the video is a very clear and a simple discussion or differentiation between accuracy and precise and precision. And when you are actually are talking about these two things, you might also want to consider that we are actually would like to hit a target. No, how close are you in the target? How close are you with the values you have got? How close are you in the target? And how many times did you able to hit the target or miss the target? Okay, so if you're going to compare accuracy and precision, okay, PowerPoint, please. This is actually the ability of an instrument or the test to obtain the correct measure. That is your accuracy on average versus your precision. This is the ability of the measurement or instrument or test to provide the same or very similar result with repeated measurement. So, if you're going to be an archer and you're going to able to land on the same spot all over again, are you precise or are you accurate? If I'm gonna be the archer and I'm going to hit the bullseye, and then I'm landing, my arrow is landing on almost the same spot. Am I precise or am I accurate?
Precise, doctor.
Accurate.
Correct. That's correct. You are precise because it provides the same or very similar result with repeated measurement. Are you for the PowerPoint? We don't have PowerPoint yet at this point. Hello, you still have no PowerPoint.
In 2 minutes, doctor. Actually, I'm saving the PowerPoint. I'll just share it in sometime.
So therefore, accuracy is the degree of measurement represents the true value of something. We are more concerned with the true value. Simply put, that this is actually how close a measurement is to the true value. Say, for example, I want to get a true value of 5 and I'm getting 4.8, 4.9, 5.1, 5, 5, 5. Okay? When I when I hit and I'm getting or close to the true value, that is a bit accurate because you are close to the target 5. But in precision, this is the degree of resemblance among the study results, where the study has to be repeated under similar circumstances. So, meaning, simply put it, how close the measurements are to each other. Say, for example, my target is 5 and I'm getting the following results. 4.7, 4.71, 4.72, 4.73, 4.7, 4.69, 4.69, 4.68, 4.7. And that is what these are all precise. I may not be close to the 5, but all the results I got is actually close to each other. Understood? Okay, next slide, please. Why is this? Okay. So there, first slide, go back to the first slide. So we have sources of variations. First slide, please. Okay. I don't understand why is this slide all okay. So the sources of variation. I don't understand why this slide is different from what I am looking into now. Okay, hold on. Why is it different from my slide? This is the slide you're supposed to see. Okay, maybe we can do this. I think it's much better if we're gonna use this my laptop. Okay. Can we just use my laptop instead? Okay, can you see my can you see my screen?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, stop sharing, stop sharing, and then I'm gonna use my video instead. Okay, can you see all of you? Can you see my video, my screen?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so variations, if you're going to get results and you're going to measure something, you will definitely get many results or many kinds of observation. And these observation and measurements can differ from each other. We have this inter-observer variation, which actually between the observer. And that would also mean that there should be or they might be having bias. So, for example, I'm going to get 5 students to observe a certain group that actually I mean a gymnast. Okay, for example, a gymnast, and then these 5 judges will going to observe the execution of this gymnast. And we know for the fact that gymnast needs to have precise, accurate movements, right? And some difficulty. So among these judges, they're going to give their score. And that score can also vary from each other. And that can also be affected by bias. As much as the judge would be want to be objective, they might also be subject to bias. And this is your inter-observer variation. Whereas with the intra-observer variation, this is within the observer. So we are also, this time, the observation is not just among the judges, but also among the gymnasts, among the coaches. Okay? Because they know for the fact that if one athlete or one gymnast did well or did good or make mistake or made error, then I can give my score. And this is basically more keen to precision. And sometimes intra-observation can also be done by reviewing, no? Reviewing, for example, the video of one's performance. That is intra-observation because we are looking into within, not just among judges. Inter-individual variation, inter-individual and instrumental variation are all samples of your other variations. Okay? So I have mentioned a while ago about accuracy and precision, the ability of an instrument or test to be obtained, the correct measure on an average. Whereas your precision, this is the ability of an instrument or test to provide the same or very similar result with repeated measurements. Okay, when you're going to be conducting or experimental study, you may also want to look into the diagnostic trials. Sometimes you're going to subject your respondents to series of tests, and you want to know who among the subjects really had the disease. So that's why you have your positive and negative result. So, for example, you have your COVID, and we know for the fact that what are the tests usually conducted to diagnose COVID. So we have heard about your PCR and your rapid antigen. Okay, let's see. When you talk about true disease status, it would actually have or would the patient is actually having the disease. And if you're going to test the patient, that test result will give you what? Positive result. But if the patient have the disease and it turns out that the test result is negative, no, and that would be your letter C. With a true positive and true disease, having the disease itself, that would be your letter A. But if you don't have disease and the test result is positive, you look at the letter B. And then if you're gonna have negative result, and in fact, you don't have the disease, that would be your letter D. Okay, so that is would be your basis. Now, looking into that, so those who are having the disease and their test result is indeed positive, they are called now your true positives. And those having negative result, and in fact, they don't have the disease, they are called now your true positive. So this is opposite now with your false positive. So who are they? Those patients who doesn't have disease, but the test result gives off positive result. And those patients who have disease, but the test result is negative. So letter A and letter D are your true positives and true negatives. Letter C, going back now, letter A and letter D. Letter A is what? Your true positive. Letter D. What is your letter D? Guys, what is your letter D?
Negative.
Now,
Letter D is your true negative, right? What is your letter B? Letter B. What is your letter B?
False positive.
This, those are your false positive. And letter C are your,
False negatives.
okay, very good. So, having learned that false negative and false positive, true positive and true negative, we want to know among the tests who are the sensitive and who are specific. So, when you want to check for sensitivity of a test, you want to get the true positive rate, or you want to get those who will turn out to be positive if you're going to run this test among 100 patients. Who among them will in fact able to be detect a disease when it is really present? So that is your sensitivity. And to compute for the sensitivity, you have your true positive over true positive plus false negative. Okay? But if you want to be specific, you just want to get what? Those who are negative. This is now the ability of the test to indicate non-disease when no disease is actually present. So if you're going to run this test among 100 people, they will be having no disease, and at the same time, it will be negative result. So that is specific. So how to compute that? You get your true negative over true negative plus false positive. And that is the sensitivity. Okay? So if you're going to screen among the two, which test is you have to improve? Sensitivity or specificity? You just want to screen. So among the two, which test is used for screening? Is it the test that gives specificity or sensitivity? Hello? Hello?
Yes, doctor.
Can you speak? Okay. Try to analyze. What would be the test you were going to use if you want to do screening? Are you more concerned with specificity or you want to concern on the sensitivity?
Specificity.
So why what is the purpose of why do you want to screen? The ideal screening test is what? To be more screening. You want to have high probability of what? Detecting the disease. You want to detect the disease, that's why you want to screen. So what is more concern for screening? More
Sensitivity.
sensitive or more specific?
Sensitive.
So high sensitive will have the high probability of detecting the disease. Okay, and the high specificity would be more what? Is it screening or is it confirmatory?
Confirm.
More of confirmatory. So is the screening okay? Should the screening test specific or sensitive? So a highly sensitive test means that there are few what? If the test is highly sensitive test, it means it has few,
Confirmatory.
they have few false negative results. So therefore, few actual cases are missed. Can you follow? Can you follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay? Okay. So we want also to indicate or know the proportion of the subjects who had positive test results, which actually having the disease, and that is your positive predictive value. So if a person tests positive, what is the probability that he has really the disease? So this is how you compute the PDP. TP true positive over all the positives, true or false positive. A negative predictive value, on the other hand, would indicate what is the proportion of the subject who had negative tests and actually free from disease or not having the disease itself. So that is your negative predictive value. So that is computed true negative over true and false negative. So the positive predictive value depends on the prevalence of the disease in the population tested. And the test itself, whether it's sensitivity or specificity, in general, it will depend more on the specificity and less of sensitivity. So if the disease is in fact, or the prevalence of disease is low, okay? So that's why we want to know which test, if you are given a limited budget or limited amount, and you want to test all of the workers, all the people in the community, and you only give them a limited budget, and you know that the fact that if it's going to use or employ this test, that would cost a lot. So that's why you want to make use of those who can give more of positive predictive value because you want to be more specific rather than less on sensitivity. Okay, so what is the relationship of the disease prevalence to your predictive value? Hold on, I just had to hold on. Can you still see my slide? Yes. I'm not sure if this is. Okay, hold on. Okay. If I turn this way, would it be better? Okay, how about this time? Can you see my slide now? Or is it still blurred?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. So this is actually example of your highly sensitive, which is 99%, and highly specific, which is about 95%, by actually looking into your positive predictive value. Okay. So this indicate that those who are positive and those who are in fact having the disease. Okay, so this is the disease prevalence and this is the test result. So what can you say? What can you say if you have a high or low predictive value? Looking, okay, I cannot, okay, about this one. Can you see? It gives out 51% if you want to be more specific. So that gives off now a high sensitivity. Okay, let's look at another table. The prevalence, sensitivity, and specificity on the predictive value. Okay, so you have the disease. Guys, you have to understand this because we're going to give the example, and this will also be, you need to compute for the sensitivity and specificity or predictive, positive, or predictive, negative. Okay, I'm going to send you another video that also gives also a good example on coming up or determining your specificity and your sensitivity. Okay, we can also compute for the accuracy wherein the proportion of true results in the population. So this is how we compute for the accuracy of a test. And in the diagnostical trial, this can also be interpreted as, remember the table A, B, okay? So if you want to get your sensitivity, what what does sensitivity means again? We are more concerned with what?
We are more concerned with
Sensitivity
sensitivity.
of what? Again?
Sensitivity.
With the disease or without the disease?
Sensitivity
With the
with the
disease.
disease. Sensitivity without disease.
Okay, what about your specificity? What is your concern with your specificity? Remember going back to our sensitivity and specificity? Remember, in sensitivity, we want to detect the disease where in fact it is present. Specificity, you want to detect or indicate a non-disease when there is no in fact illness is not present. Okay? Sensitive, you really have the disease because it would also turn positive. Whereas your specific, it would indicate that you indeed doesn't have disease. Okay? So why do we have to learn? Because there would be errors. A type 1 error, when we collect your data, when you observe or measure the results, a type 1 or alpha error or the false positive error that occurs when the data lead one to conclude that something is true when in reality it is not true. You just assume it is true, but in reality it's not. And that is your false positive error. And this trait suggests that the test is not specific. So that is your type 1 error. A type 2 error, on the other hand, occurs when the data lead to conclude that something is false when in fact, in reality, this is true. And this rate suggests that the test is not sensitive. Okay, let's compare again the other, no? The two errors, no? You conclude that it's true, but in reality, it's not because of your data or the test result. And that is your type 1 error. I conclude that you're going to pass the subject, but in reality, you did not. And that is your type 1 error. Okay? Your type 2 error is you conclude that, okay, you are not going to pass this subject, but in fact, your grade is 95, 96. And that is your type 2 error. Okay? So what are the results? So you have the likelihood ratio, a positive likelihood ratio, and then a negative likelihood ratio. A likelihood ratio for a positive result tells you that the odds of the disease increases when the test is in positive. And the other tells you that the likelihood ratio for a negative result will tell you that the odds of the disease decreases when the test is negative. So, practical application when you are going to use diagnostic tests in clinical practice. So, as I've said, the screening tests. If you're going to use or a screening test, you want to rule out, you want to eliminate false hypotheses. And this will be also used if you're going to have the differential diagnosis. Okay? It must have a high degree of sensitivity and a low false negative and type 2 error rate. So screening should be sensitive because you want to rule out false hypotheses. Okay? On the other hand, if you want to confirm, you want to rule in, you want to take, you want to consider diagnosis. This must have high degree of specificity with low false positive or type 1 error rate. Okay? So at this point, Okay. Okay. So the next PowerPoint will talk about sampling. Okay, it's quite okay, hold on. Okay, we're going to have another discussion on the sampling, and we're just going to uh, finish whatever we can tackle for today. So why do we need to do sampling? But I'd like to ask all of you, what is the purpose of research? Why do you need to do research? And what is basically research? Research is scientific, it's systematic, it's controlled, empirical, and critical investigation of natural phenomena. So research is an organized and systematic way of finding answers to questions. Having said that, I'd like to ask all of you, please type in your chat box. What is the ultimate goal of research? For us, students, doctors, why do we need to do research? Am I exempted to do research? Is research only in the medical field? Can someone please type in the chat box? What's the purpose for you? For you, what's the purpose of research? What do you want to do with research? Why people invented research? Hey guys, are you not gonna answer me? 500 of you will not just staring at their phone. What's the purpose of research? Yeah, no. Can you still can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Did you understand the question? No. Okay. So no one gonna answer me, or I'm just gonna leave the session. If you're not interested, okay, what? Purpose of research is to understand a phenomena. Okay, it's a copy-pasted answer. You started just to Google. It can provide information, important information about the disease, to get answers, to learn the actual nature of process and phenomena. The ultimate aim of research is to gradually add to the accumulation of human knowledge. It can provide important information. These are all copy-pasted answers. I'm sorry. I just want to know the practical reason. Just your opinion, your own answer, not copy-pasted. It's very simple question. What is research? Why do we need to do research? What is it that you want to know?
Doctor, we need to do research because it allows us as a doctors to decide how to best treat our patients about the drugs, proportion, and probability.
Okay, very good. You want to know what would be the best. That's correct. You want to know probably what would be the alternative also. Okay, you want to simplify information regarding certain information or certain phenomena or certain observation. But in general, it's it's just specific among doctors. But how about Can we not do research in electrical or maybe technology or maybe in computer or marketing? Do they do also research in marketing? Yes, of course. In
Yes,
business,
doctor.
in economics, of course, they do research as well. So people would like to find out what when you are doing research, what is it that you would like to find out? Letter T. You want to know the letter T. What is this something that you want to know? That's why we want you to do research. Letter T.
Truth. The truth.
Very good. We want to know the truth because anybody can claim, hey, when you take this very nice planner, you're going to earn lots of grades and you're going to get good grades and everything that you're going to write here will be imparted in your brain. So just buy this planner for only $200. And then you would go, okay, let's take this planner. Are you sure that it will actually improve my grades? Yes, of course, it is already tested. But you didn't do the research. You were just persuaded by some testimonial, by some hearsay. I'm convincing you to buy this planner. But what I want is evidence. And what I want is the truth. And that is research. That's why we want to come up with the conclusion that can support no, your claim. That's why you need to gather evidences. You need to gather data. You need to gather uh, especially if you're going to collect data. Are the data being collected in a correct manner? Is it really part of your methodology? So how were they able to prove that smoking is related to cancer? Was it just a hearsay? And years and years of research have been conducted. And now it is the truth. Can you actually counterfeit or say refute that claim? Then it's not true. It's not true that smoking or even the vaping it would not cause any harm in the lungs. Okay, then do your research. Prove to me that vaping could not cause any harm. So that's the beauty of research. We want to know the truth. How would you know the truth? How can you support what you're telling me is a truth? How can you support your claim that you are telling the truth? How? For example, between a boy and a girl. The boy would tell the girl when they are courting, you are the only woman that I will fall in love with. You're the most beautiful woman. I love you. Okay? When can I get your answer? Yes. And the lady would tell what? Prove to me that your intentions are good. Listening? When the boy started to court a lady, she would tell every flowery, positive words because he is courting. But how would the lady know that he's telling the truth? Can someone in the class answer the question? Okay, female, can someone please answer the question? If someone is courting you, how would you know that the boy is actually telling the truth? Something like evidence. Purnima, can you elaborate your answer? Are you a female, Purnima? Okay, never mind. This session is not as active as I expected. No one is interested to do some discussion. Just here to listen. Guys, I know it's difficult if you're gonna have face to face, or maybe if you're gonna be to write it. But it's even more difficult if it's going to be just Zoom, virtual. What would you learn? If simple questions are being thrown to you for a purpose of discussion and nobody care to answer me, it's kind of frustrating because I'm actually giving practical explanation, but no one is interested anyway, so just forget it. So anyway, I'm going to give you the slide. So these are the components or empirical research. No, you have your problem statement, your research questions, your purpose, the theory, variables, and hypotheses. You know, guys, if you're going to do research, you need to pick up a topic, choose a topic that is actually also gives you not just a good grade, but also your interest. That interest alone can lead you to a lot of things. Okay, and that would not be very difficult because you are interested to learn something on that particular topic. Sometimes in choosing topic can also be related to something that happened to you or experience or someone that you know of. Okay, so by the title of your research alone, you can get much of information already. Okay, you can also from the title you can derive now research questions and even purpose or objectives of your research. So, if you're going to do research, a sample or sampling is actually coming up with a smaller representation or collection of units from a population because you can never do 1.2 billion, 1.2 billion respondents the entire India. So why you need to do something? Because of time, money, resources, and even workload. No? You also need to do something because it gives results with no accuracy that can calculated mathematically. So even if you're just going to make use of a certain percentage of that population, it can still be acceptable because it can represent, no? Say for example, I'm going to predict who will be the president of a certain country, and then I will conduct a survey. I will get 1,000 people without any bias. How can I actually prove, or how can I actually claim that this 1,000 people will not be biased or was not paid by the candidate A? When someone will gonna ask you, please tell me that I'm going to be your president, huh? So how are you able to eliminate bias? By what? One of them is randomization. Random, no? You don't choose who would be your respondents. Whoever will come across on your streets, and that will be your response. That is your randomization. And that would eliminate bias too. Okay? So sometimes also you need to come up with a list from those who are potential respondents, and that is your sampling frame. Okay? So you can get sampling frame from registrar's office, from the class rosters, but you need to assess sampling frame errors. So sampling frame errors, this can be changes from the roster. The roster may not be as updated as it is, you know. So are the students listed in the roster are still enrolled, or maybe most of them have already shifted to another course. So it can also be because of your sampling error. And so sampling basically is will be depending on what is your population of interest. To whom do you want to generalize your result? You want to get the census of all the doctors of the Indians, of women aged 15 to 45, or others. So in sampling, you are actually focusing on your target population. The question here is, can you sample the entire population? Yes, we can sample the entire population. And there is a mathematical computation to get what would be the sampling size. Okay, so there are three factors that influence sampling representativeness. How you conduct sampling, that's your sampling procedure, computing for the sample size, and the participation. When you might sample the entire population, can you do the sampling for the entire population? Yes. When you have a small population and you have a lot of people doing the research for extensive resources, and if you don't expect a very high response, you do a lot of your sampling. So in here, who do you want to generalize? You want to generalize the entire population? Okay. But what population can you get access to? And that would be your study population. This is where your target, no? How can you get access to them? That is your sampling frame. And who are included in the study? And that would be your sample. Okay? So this is how you do the breakdown of sampling. Okay, at this point, I will going to pause for a while and I need to just confirm if this, okay. So let me just confirm with Dr. Antas if I need to continue my discussion on the sampling. Will it be included or it's just accuracy and precision? But normally we include that. I'm going to give you also another video that discuss about sampling that can help in our discussion. At this point, I can I can just leave you with the PowerPoint and the video that you're going to watch. Okay. So for those who were listening and paying attention, thank you. And for those who are not interested, good luck to you because I'm gonna make your examination harder this time. The purpose of discussion is it's a two-way process. I ask question, you answer me. Your professor will not be just dictating everything that is written in the PowerPoint. Sometimes I need to pause and ask questions, and you need to put also your thoughts about the concept or the topic we've been discussing. Okay, so thank you for listening. All the PowerPoint have been already sent to your LO. LO, please send the PowerPoint to your classmates who are present here in the discussion. Okay,
Yes,
any
doctor.
question? So I just need to cut you with the sampling because it's a long topic actually, but I will have it simplified for you then. So we have learned about accuracy, precision, sensitivity, specificity, predictive, positive predictive, negative predictive value, and also a bit of sampling. Okay, so I think that would be all. Did you did you do some screenshots for the attendance?
I'll take it now.
Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.